Thank you very much, Marta. I was reminded by someone in the audience when I was just down there a second ago that although I said please take pictures of all the dogs and put them on social networks, some people might want you to ask permission first before you take a bunch of pictures of their dogs. The dogs could be sensitive to that, so please, if you are going to take pictures of someone's dog, just backtrack on my words a little bit and just please ask first if they mind if you do so. And so, moving along with our gold sponsors this evening, we are next going to hear from Stop Animal Exploitation Now, who combat animal experimentation by successfully terminating research projects, forcing the USDA to take legal action against laboratories, and coordinating the releases of animals into sanctuaries. Please warmly welcome Karen Budkie.
Hi, welcome to the 2016 Animal Rights Conference. I'm one of the co-founders of SAEN, Stop Animal Exploitation Now. Our mission is to end animal experiments through cutting-edge investigations, hard-hitting media exposés, and public pressure. 2016 marks a momentous year for our organization and for myself and my husband. Michael, one of the SAEN's other co-founders, this is our 30th year working on animal experimentation. And it's 20 years since we started SAEN in 1996. And SAEN is now 20 years strong. From closing down our first research experiment in 1988, a cat crash protocol at the University of Cincinnati, this was just 2 years under our activism, and now to our most recent successful closure of Santa Cruz Biotech. They were given the largest fine ever levied against the lab, $3.5 million. This is 16 times larger than any fine that's ever been levied against the lab, but it gets better. They not only revoked their license, they forced them to turn over their registration. They will no longer be able to abuse goats and rabbits in their labs. And this is what SAEN is all about. SAEN is leaving a trail of out-of-business signs across the U.S., from coast to coast, from Harvard's Primate Center to now to the most recent Santa Cruz Biotech closure. SAEN's goal is to end animal exploitation now, hence the name of our organization. We do not advocate for bigger, cleaner, or enriched enclosures. We are no compromise. For the only good cage is an empty one, and the only good researcher is an unemployed one. We are focused on ending this barbaric and antiquated practice of animal experimentation, not prolonging it. Some people have told us that SAEN does not do enough branding of our organization, at least within the movement. Yet we're branded right where we should be, in the minds of our opponents. Anyone connected with animal research knows that SAEN is their worst nightmare, and each and every lab and dealer involved in animal research is in our sights. Our effectiveness is confirmed, not in just the record number of news stories that SAEN garners each year, exposing these criminal labs, nor in the record number of successful U.S. prosecutions initiated by SAEN complaints, nor in the SAEN's 7 most recent protocol lab closures in the last 4 years. We know SAEN is effective when our insider informants give us feedback about how SAEN is a topic of many casual conversations and formal presentations at their conferences. And also, our effectiveness is confirmed when the National Institutes of Health is compelled to post a statement on their website designed solely to discredit SAEN. Our latest affirmation of SAEN's effectiveness is when our opponents try to use the legal system to squash our fundamental rights. They're trying to take away our freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. These labs do not want exposure and are scrambling to shut SAEN up. SAEN is standing its ground, for we will fight these lawsuits, even though it is a great zap of our time and resources. But we will never back down until they stop the killing. This weekend, you'll hear a lot of statistics, but remember, these numbers represent an individual who wanted to live, who wanted nothing more than what you and I take for granted: their freedom, their families, their health, and even their sanity. But they have no choice, yet you do. You have a choice this weekend. This conference could be where you collect some information, buy a souvenir. It could also be where you meet new friends, meet your Facebook friends, or catch up with old ones, and also hear some inspiring talks. But what this conference should be is your call of action. For you to leave this conference committed to act, for animals are literally dying right now, waiting for each and every one of us to be their voice. Can I count on you to stand with me in this fight? Yeah. Let's make this conference our commitment from this weekend forward to stop animal exploitation now. Let's act up, fight back, for their lives depend on each and every one of us now. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for that, Karen. I love what you said there about when you hear all these statistics, you can't forget that these are real animals. I mean, I think that's something that's really easy when we think of both the numbers of animals that are being killed by humans, and we think it's billions, and we just don't even want to wrap our heads around it. And then when we hear a group say that they saved, dozens or hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of animals, I mean, if we think of our worst day we've ever had, and then realize that animals' worst days are almost certainly significantly worse than that, and then we think that every single animal represented in one of those statistics that we saved means an animal whose life was just made better than we can basically possibly imagine, I think is a really powerful way to let all these stats not overwhelm us and instead inspire us. And the final sponsor that we are going to hear from tonight.